I was recently on a mastermind call with a pretty well-known coach in the real estate industry. We'll talk about how he's never sold a house in a second, but he talked about how building a business by referral is absolutely not something you can rely on. And I'm here to tell you that that's absolute bullshit, and we're going to dive into it right now. As you can tell, I'm a little fired up about that. It was a couple days ago, but we're gonna try and move on. Jeremy Kane, Real Estate Agent Playbook. Super excited to dive into this topic. As you can tell, I'm super passionate about it. Would love if you shared this, video or podcast with anybody who you think might be in the real estate industry that could benefit from it. I love helping agents win every single day at the game of real estate. So let's dive in. So real estate is kind of that hot button industry, right? We're entrepreneurs. We, sometimes join teams. We're sometimes employees. And I have another video about that that's coming out pretty soon. But when it really comes down to it, building a business is something that has a lot of pieces to it. And the first thing that I ask a lot of my clients when they join my organization is, what do you enjoy to do? And the truth is that if we are pounding these, old school tactics, join a team, join a big brokerage that provides leads and build their brand and, just be a slave to that, you are just an employee. So if you got into the business to be an entrepreneur and build your own business and be your own boss, joining a team is absolutely not the right thing to do, because you will constantly be on that team until you decide one day that you want to build your own brand and build a brand name for yourself. Not to mention how many deals did you flow into that team or, whatever. Yeah, great experience calling 200, 300 people a day, working the phones. And that's great. If that's how you want to build your business, that's fine. But the truth is that once you leave that team or that big office, the big box brokerage that provides leads and does all of that, you're starting over at day one. That's something, and the main reason, as you may know, why I didn't decide to go from top producer to, a production team, because that just wasn't my vibe. I just didn't want to deal with that. I didn't want to, try and retain people and have them continue to build their brand. I love helping other agents build their brand. And I think that that's one of the most important things you can do when you get in the industry is build a brand. And we're not talking about logos and any of that. We're talking about building a brand. What's it like to work with you? What's your story? What are your clients saying about you after they get done with you? Because that's really what carries your brand. Sure, fancy logos and fancy colors are great, but brand's all about story. If the client can tell a story about having a positive experience and doing that, it's great. And how do we do that, right? This is the key that everyone's asking. How do you build a brand, and how do you become so successful at repeat client, working by referral, and how do you make working by referral consistent? And I've cracked the code. It's fairly easy. A lot of it came natural to me, but the honest truth is you have to care, right? You have to care about your clients. And a lot of people say, show your clients you care. Showing your clients you care isn't enough. You have to care. And so if you take that care and you build those relationships and you provide exceptional experiences, sure, we're going to make mistakes. Sure, somebody's going to have, an issue with a loan or, an issue with an inspection item, or, maybe they bought at a time their value went down a little bit and, they're waiting for it to go back up. There's all things that we can't control. And if you're working from a lead source or, an internet lead, we also don't control that they did it once. So why wouldn't they just go back to Zillow and click on a face and call them on their next deal? Or by that time, Zillow's probably going to have the whole process automated. So why wouldn't they just click on a house and buy it, over the internet and, go from there? So the truth is, what we do control is our client's experience and the fact and the care that we can put towards that. And no computer can ever replace that. So a few things that I've put together, 15 things that you can do to care. And we're going to go through them one by one. I'm going to give you a short explanation, and then we're going to wrap this thing up. This list could be infinity, long. I picked 15 things that I think maybe you aren't thinking about. I would love for you to comment below and tell me one thing you do that I didn't talk about that shows that you actually care about your clients. And if you're at a point in your business, no matter what the time frame is, no matter what year you're watching this, check out this video on Are Your Goals Up in Flames? This is 2023 because that's when this video was recorded, but it's a great video to watch throughout the rest of your career, to be honest, when your goals start to slip. So back to the care. What do people care about? And what can you do to show you care? The first things first is communicate in the hard times, right? Pick up the phone and have conversations, whether that's at a bad inspection, a bad news from the lender, or maybe down the road they purchased and their value went down. If you're communicating and you're staying, top of mind and being of value, they know that you don't control the market. So if you're reaching out, and that's the best time to reach out, is when maybe somebody's lost a little bit of value. Hopefully they didn't just buy the house and now they're underwater. But when they've lost a little bit of value, that's when there's fear. That's when they need your expertise to understand what the best route is moving forward. Do we just sell? Do we cut our losses and sell? Do we just hold on? What's that look like? So communicate no matter what the situation is with the market or the transaction. You have to be open to communicate and be there and walk alongside and support your client or anybody who's having a hard time. The next thing is research the market, right? This is something that I hear all the time. I hear a little bit of, weird takes on what's going on in the market. And should I wait to buy until the interest rates, should I wait to sell till the interest rates come down so I can get a bidding war? Like, the truth is that your real estate agent, or you as a real estate agent, needs to know what is going on in the market. If you don't know the market, you are absolutely replaceable. So partner with lenders, partner with title companies, have conversations. Just put yourself out there in the market and know it, because that's a huge piece of my business for sure, but also that I see that's kind of lacking in a lot of real estate agents. They're kind of going with the headlines, and if you're going with the headlines right now, you never know what you're going to deal with. And if you're carrying along their narrative, you're probably not, turning a bunch of clients into buyers and sellers at this point in time. The next thing is be willing to pitch in, right? As a real estate agent, most of the time, especially if you're independent, you make a shit ton of money when we close. So if there's an inspection item that, maybe the seller's putting in some, the buyer's putting in some, and you're like, hey, like radon's still outstanding, I can pick that up. Whatever that is, and I'm not saying do it all the time, but there's times where, the money's tight, or, maybe the seller's just saying, I'm not gonna do it, right? What's that mean if you throw in something that maybe is a potential health and safety item for your client, or give them help out with that, give them a rebate, or, whatever you need to do, lower your commission with the seller to give them a little bit more spending power, or the ability to move into this home as, for safety purposes or whatever. That's not something that I say do all the time, but if you step in and, you feel driven to do that, it's $300, $400, $500 at a time. Who knows? And the truth is that they're never going to find the perfect home. So being a little bit flexible and being, approaching with a giving heart and doing the right thing, sometimes in real estate transactions goes a long way as a real estate agent. The next thing, and this is kind of probably what people went to right away, is provide thoughtful gifts, right? Provide personalized gifts or something that comes up. And this is interesting because I always see posts on, these big, Facebook groups and things like, what should I get this client? Like, you should know what kind of gift to give a client, especially when you're just starting out and you have that, true white glove experience. Right now with my production, I do a personalized gift. I personalize it by color and I put their name on it and their house location, that kind of stuff. But it's not, it's not like, oh, this person would love this. And I mean, if there is like things like going to sporting events, and obviously I know the clients that love that and that don't love that. So just be thoughtful and provide gifts along the way, both in transaction, post transaction, and as much as you can to help people. Everyone loves getting a gift. There's not one person that loves giving a gift more than, or getting a gift more than my 5-year-old daughter, but everyone does love getting some sort of gift, some sort of thoughtful touch, and it doesn't have to be super expensive. It's the thought that counts, right? The next is something that I see a lot of real estate agents that say they're relational, but they're actually transactional, struggle with. You need to connect with your clients outside of the real estate transaction. And that just doesn't mean after closing, it means all the time, right? What are their interests? Can you tap into? Obviously, the gift can kind of go hand in hand with this, but this is a huge one and gives you the ability to separate yourself, right? What's their dog's names? What's their kids' names? What sports are the kids playing? What are they doing throughout the transaction that you can kind of tap into and just, make mental notes, right? Next time you see Johnny, who, they were at the baseball game, talking about the inspection objection and missed Johnny's home run. Next time you see Johnny, dude, how was the baseball game? Heard you hit a bomb. That's sweet. Something like that. And just getting to know them outside of the real estate only transaction is pretty big and will go a long way and allows you to connect with them outside of the transaction, after the transaction, like, hey, how's Johnny's baseball career? Hey, what's going on? Gives you reasons to reach out and make those touches down the road, which will be big, huge dividends in return with referrals and repeat clients. The next thing is provide consistent content for them. It can be passive, right? Friend them on Facebook so they see all your market updates, all the articles. If something's happening with the tax bill or something's happening in the community that you're reporting on, provide that content. And that's a great way to passively stay top of mind. And it's not like, hey, who's looking to buy or sell? It's like, hey, here's some information. Take it, digest it at your leisure. It's on my page. You're good to go. I know you follow, or I know we're friends. So check that out. Provide weekly emails of what's going on in the market. Sometimes they'll open them, sometimes they won't. Send them homes, from their area. And so all of those little just passive touches, maybe even not even send them directly, right? Send a database, hey, this home sold, this is cool. Like Russell Wilson bought a house for $30 million. That's cool. You want to see pictures of it? Here you go, right? All of those kind of passive touches that are, more mass produced, but will just remind people always that you're in real estate, and it's not, a direct text message, every time like, hey, buy or sell. Hey, the market's doing this. It's passive, and that's the power of social media, and YouTube especially is just being able to provide those things. This is a kind of a ninja trick here. Help them or people that are important to them build their business, right? So small business, it's great to kind of form together and send referrals and trade referrals back and forth. The more referrals you give, the more referrals you'll get. And so, HVAC contractors and bakers and salon owners and all of the people that you can think of, somebody will need them at some point. So if your clients have that business, that's a home run, or maybe their parents do, or their brother, or whatever. You can continually drive business to those people, make sure that they do a good job. But that's a huge way to show them that you care, because you're thinking outside the box, driving people to help their family members or themselves build a business and sustain. And if you help them build a great business, then they're going to sell their home and move up. And that's also nice. Next one is follow through on your word. We don't have to talk about that too much. Do what you say you're going to do, carry it out, and do it with the utmost, confidence and, follow through that you can do. Make sure that you do what you say you're going to do across the board, and good things will happen. Have meaningful client events. And a lot of this boils down to having your client avatar, right? If you're focusing on families and things like that, don't throw a rager at a bar, right? If you're focusing on young professionals, maybe you do rent out a rooftop and have a happy hour. It's just make sure that you're throwing meaningful client events that they're going to want to come to, right? What would a family of 4 want to come to? Maybe we'll do some family photos. We'll do a barbecue at the park. We'll get a bounce house. We'll just cater to the kiddos, right? And so know your target audience and throw meaningful client events. Humanize yourself on social media. Obviously, I'm not telling you have to put your kids on social media or do any of that, but more than just real estate content. What do you do? What are you doing in your free time? The camera can always be facing out. You can be at a ball game. You can be, at a play. You can be out to dinner. Whatever that is, make sure you're humanizing yourself so that, they're not just like, oh, there's the real estate agent. He's the suit and tie buttoned up dude, that calls us when he wants a commission. So humanize yourself on social media. Also another very easy way to passively, stay top of mind. Do the little things. Send them the needed documents at tax time, right? If they purchased a home or sold a home in the last year, January, February, send out that settlement statement, because they're going to be reaching out. That'll also save you some time on the back end, because they'll start asking you come March or April anyway. So if you just send that out January, February, that's huge. Other things like reminders to winterize your sprinkler systems, or connecting them with a vendor that's willing to do it at a 10% discount. So just reaching out at key times and providing the key documents needed so that they don't have to go back and shuffle and, find everything that they need. It's just top of their email box, boom, got it. Or, oh, Jeremy just sent me this guy, he's doing aerations in Denver, boom, let's call him up and get on the list. Next is giving them the tools to know they have options, right? HomeBot or different, annual reviews is something I do. Make sure that they know, make sure that they have access if they do have a home warranty or, they do have insurance, sewer line coverage. Just make sure that they have all the tools that they pay for and sometimes maybe don't even know at their disposal so that they can, take care of their asset and do the right things when it comes to home improvements and that kind of deal. You could keep them up to date on things that are happening in their neighborhood. Maybe set them up on an auto search, just, a small auto search, just their neighborhood of homes that are on the market or, selling or whatever, you'll kind of know when working with them, if they're those people that want to see every picture of a house, but when it comes active on the market, maybe you're, notifying them when those homes go active. Maybe they don't really care about that, but they just really care about their value. Maybe send them an auto search of, when homes sell in their neighborhood once a month, nothing crazy, but this is a huge value. And you can see when people are kind of looking and on the back end, depending on what software you use, you can definitely keep track of them that way, but it's also just giving them the information, right? It's always like, okay, well, Jeremy's going to send me all the homes sold this month. So that's pretty cool. So definitely, take advantage of that as well. Definitely service every single referral you have with a white glove experience. Make sure you're calling and thanking them. Laws and things like that don't allow you to really reciprocate financially for those things like we could if it was another real estate agent, but make sure you're doing something a little extra to thank them. And the biggest thing that they care about and want is that you're serving that person that they know, like, and trust with the utmost, professionalism and respect. So really take a little bit extra care of those referrals. And then again, make connections that don't involve real estate. We mentioned small business, but maybe, they're moving into a new area and a mom's group or a mom that lives in the area. Hey, you guys have similar age kids. They're moving into the area. Just want to introduce you guys so you knew somebody in the neighborhood. Things like that don't even have to be involved with moving or anything real estate. Just being that connector and always looking to connect like personalities, because when you make that connection and, who knows, it could be best friends for life, then you're going to be both of those groups of realtors for life. So just make those extra connections. And that's 15 things that you can do just a little bit differently that will absolutely help you, show your clients that you actually care about them. But also all of these things have the base root of building business by referral. And I can guarantee you that if you do this for your clients or the people that around you, they don't have to have sold a home to have a positive experience with you. You will absolutely be able to work consistently by referral, unlike that top-notch coach said that you couldn't do. So if you have any questions about this, please let me know. If I'm speaking your language, I have a link to my free mini course down below, and I would love to have that discussion with you, include you in that community, and provide you with, a free mini course. It's only 30 minutes long, but I think it can change your business forever. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share the podcast with your favorite real estate agent, and we'll keep winning at the game of real estate, and I hope I can help you too. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.